Welcome back to another adventure as we journey through 10 wondrous mysteries of the world and universe. Prepare to be amazed and captivated as we uncover the secrets that have baffled scientists, historians, and stargazers alike. Alongside ghost videos, these are some of our favourite topics to talk about, and if you want more, then just let us know in the comments below. We hope this video is a little reminder of how incredible the world and universe is, and will give you a moment of appreciation for what is around us. So buckle up, hit those lights, and let the mysteries and wonders unfold. The Copper Scroll Treasure. An ancient copper scroll discovered at the site of Qumran in 1952 began an archaeological mystery that has never been solved. The scroll was found alongside the Dead Sea Scrolls in what is now the West Bank in Palestine. It dates back over 2,000 years to a time when the Roman Empire was in control of the Qumran settlement. Researchers have long believed that the scroll describes where huge hoards of gold and silver are buried that were hidden by locals to stop the Romans getting their hands on it. But the trouble is, no one can decipher what is written, so to date, the location of the treasure and the true meaning behind the scroll is still a mystery. Rainbow clouds. Rainbow clouds are an extremely rare weather phenomenon that, when witnessed, leaves some people feeling like something supernatural is about to happen. Not really a mystery, but certainly wondrous, and you can only think what our ancestors would have thought when witnessing something like this. This clip was filmed over Haiku City in China and left the internet stunned. Incredible, and despite fears that they signal the end of time or are the portal to another dimension, there is in fact a perfectly valid scientific explanation for the spectacle. The atmospheric optical phenomenon called cloud iridescence occurs when water droplets or ice crystals in the cloud distract the light around the outside of the droplet, as opposed to bending the light through it, meaning the colours are not as uniform as in a regular rainbow, but much more vivid. The formation is often short-lived, and very few people around the world will get to see one as spectacular as the one in China. How will the universe end? Well, according to science, it will end in one of three ways: the Big Chill, Crunch, or Rip. With the Big Chill or Big Freeze, dark energy forces would force the universe to gradually expand until all that remains are burned out stars and dead planets whose temperatures would drop to an unsurvivable absolute zero, or minus 273.15 degrees. The Big Crunch is basically a mirror image of the Big Bang. If the amount of dark energy is not enough to resist the compressing force of gravity, the entire universe could collapse into a singular point. And the Big Rip is a scenario in which dark energy overwhelms all other forces, causing all galaxies, stars, and even atoms to be torn apart. We talk more about this and all things astronomy over on our space channel, Access Astronomy. All of these scenarios are catastrophic, but in reality, no one really knows the answer or when this will happen. Just like our lives today were never promised, neither is the future. That's why you must take every moment to appreciate what you have right now, because we have no idea what the future holds or when it will end. The Scottish Pompeii. Unlike the pyramids of Giza or Stonehenge, Skara Brae in Scotland is relatively unknown. However, this Neolithic site predates both Stonehenge and the pyramids. In 1850, Scotland was battered by a horrific storm that claimed the lives of over 200 people. When it settled down, it left behind something extraordinary on the coast of mainland Orkney. The force of the high tides and strong winds had stripped away part of a knoll and uncovered the ruins of several small, roofless houses close to the shore of Bay o' Scale. Initial efforts to excavate the site were pretty amateurish, and eventually it was abandoned in 1868. It remained untouched until 1925, when another storm damaged the structures. During efforts to protect the site, a seawall was built that uncovered even more houses. The homes were all consistent in design, each featuring a single central room with a fireplace and beds on either side. At first it was believed the houses had been occupied by people during the Iron Age, but with the emergence of radiocarbon dating in the 1970s, evidence suggested the site was much older, and that the Skara Brae's earliest residents settled in 3180 BC and stayed in the area for over 600 years, placing the site in the Neolithic age. The artifacts found at the site are so well preserved that it's the best preserved Neolithic human settlement in Northern Europe. So what happened to the people who lived there, and why did they move out after 600 years, leaving so many of their belongings behind? It's theorized that they were fleeing from some disaster, and this evokes the image of Vesuvius raining down on the citizens of Pompeii. It's a thought that has earned Skara Brae its nickname, the Scottish Pompeii. However, the truth is, nobody knows why they left, although the most likely explanation is that the area was buried gradually over time until the dunes completely swallowed up the settlement. Now, Skara Brae is slowly being swallowed up by the ocean, and it remains to be seen whether this unique window into the ancient past will ultimately be buried forever, taking its secrets with it. Black to transparent in an instant. This footage of a squid is incredible and shows just how wonderful nature can be. When the video first surfaced, many believed it was fake, but we believe that it's genuine and shows either a glass squid or a reef squid, reacting to the circumstance it finds itself in. The squid is a cephalopod, a group that includes octopuses, squid and cuttlefish, some of which are skilled at changing colour in as little as 200 milliseconds. They do this for several reasons, including to communicate, startle, or warn potential predators, or as attraction for mating. In the case of the one in the video, it is likely he's changing colour because he was scared. The disappearance of the Sansingdui. In 1929, a man repairing a sewage ditch in China's Sichuan province uncovered a treasure trove of jade and stone artifacts. Further excavation was not carried out at the time, and a lot of the treasure ended up in the hands of private collectors. It wasn't until 1986, when the site was being excavated by archaeologists, that 2 more pits full of Bronze Age treasures, including jade, elephant tusks, and bronze sculptures were unearthed. But who created these hidden wonders? It's believed that members of the Sansingdui civilization were responsible, an ancient culture that collapsed between 3,000 and 2,800 years ago. It is known that the Sansingdui lived in a walled city beside the banks of the Minjiang River. However, why they left and buried so many of their precious possessions in pits is a mystery. It has been suggested that maybe an earthquake rerouted the Minjiang River, causing the residents to flee. However, like many things from ancient history, no one really knows. The mysterious Orang Pendek. The island of Sumatra is Indonesia's largest island and the 6th largest in the world. Its tropical climate is host to a wide range of plants and animal species, although in recent years it has lost almost 50% of its rainforest, and many of the species that live there are now critically endangered. And that may include an unknown species of ape that is said to have roamed the forest for the past 100 years. Known as the Orang Pendek, or short man, the creature is said to walk upright, standing at around 4 to 5 feet tall, with powerfully built shoulders and long muscular arms. Witnesses describe it as covered in black or honey-coloured hair, with a mane running down its back. Sightings date back to the 1920s, some of them at very close range. In May 1927, a Dutch plantation worker called A.H.W. Kramer reported seeing an Orang Pendek from a distance of only 10 meters. It had long hair and black skin. The beast supposedly ran away, leaving small human-like footprints. The same year, the creature was said to have been caught in a tiger trap, but broke free. The traces of blood it left were examined by zoologist H.K. Damerman, who concluded that it was not from a bear, gibbon, or human. It's believed the creature is a small, immensely strong, non-human primate that resembles a very muscular gibbon, which is probably an undiscovered great ape closely related to the orangutan. Although the native people of Sumatra ascribe no supernatural powers to the creature, they do fear the beast because even though it is not known to be aggressive, when scared, it will use rocks and sticks to protect itself. Nowadays, the creature is only witnessed in the west of the island, specifically in and around Kerinci Seblat National Park. If zoologists can prove this creature exists, not only will it be an astounding discovery, but it may give vital clues to how bipedalism evolved into our own species. We'll probably create a documentary on the orang pending on our Early Humans YouTube channel in the future, but if you'd like us to do an in-depth podcast episode on this mysterious creature on our Hit the Lights podcast, let us know in the comments section below. Fate of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is an artifact believed to be the physical manifestation of God's presence and supreme power. According to the Bible, the gold-encrusted wooden chest contains the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. In ancient times, the box was kept in the First Temple, a Jewish place of worship in Jerusalem. However, when the temple was destroyed in 587 BC by a Babylonian army, the Ark disappeared, and no one knows for sure what became of it. Since its disappearance, many people, both real and fictional, have looked for the box, and it famously inspired Steven Spielberg's blockbuster movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. Some ancient reports say that the Ark made its way to Babylon, while others believe that the Ark was buried somewhere in Jerusalem, or that it was destroyed along with the First Temple. However, Ethiopia claims that the Ark resides in the Church of Our Lady, Mary of Zion, an Ethiopian Orthodox Tawahedo church located in the town of Axum in northern Ethiopia, where it is closely guarded by a virgin monk who cannot leave the sacred grounds until his death. Despite these claims, the Covenant's ownership has not been verified, as apart from the monk, no one is allowed in the chamber where it allegedly resides. Most historians think that if it does still exist, the 3,000-year-old relic would be disintegrated by now. Of course, this is only speculation, and for many, the final fate of the Ark remains a fascinating and perhaps unsolvable ancient mystery. Where is Cleopatra's tomb? Cleopatra's tomb has been lost for over 2,000 years and has long been a source of intrigue for archaeologists and the public. So where is the tomb of the last queen of Egypt? Cleopatra, the legendary Egyptian beauty who bore children from both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, famously killed herself in 30 BC after being captured by Roman Emperor Octavian. According to ancient texts, she took her life by letting a venomous snake called an asp bite her. It is claimed she was buried with Mark Antony in a mausoleum described by the writer Plutarch as a lofty and beautiful monument located near a temple of the Egyptian goddess Isis. But exactly where that is shrouded in mystery. For the past 15 years, a team led by Catherine Martinez has been excavating a site called Taposiris Magna, located about 31 miles west of Alexandria. And although they have unearthed valuable ancient artifacts and coins minted during Cleopatra's reign, there is still no sign of her last resting place. However, despite the persistence of Martinez and her team, most archaeologists think that it's unlikely Cleopatra is buried there, with many believing her tomb was likely built next to her palace in Alexandria, in an area that is now underwater. Even if the tomb is not underwater, there is a good chance that it was either destroyed, robbed, or buried beneath modern-day Alexandria. There is no plans in place to search for a tomb underwater, although past projects have looked at Cleopatra's palace and found nothing, and it's feared the enduring mystery of Cleopatra's tomb may never be solved. Maybe there is a young archaeologist out there now who will make it their life mission to find the tomb. How will life on Earth end? Life is fragile, but also remarkably resilient, and according to scientists, the first living things appeared as far back as 4 billion years ago, at a time when colossal space rocks were still pounding Earth. Throughout its history, Earth has experienced all manner of catastrophes, from supernova blasts and asteroid strikes to huge volcanic eruptions and sudden climate shifts, all of which have killed off various life forms. Despite this, life has always recovered, creating new species and evolving to every situation. So what exactly would it take to kill off all life forms on Earth forever? While an asteroid would do a good job of that, and we came close 66 million years ago when a city-sized asteroid struck Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs and other species. Without that strike, dinosaurs would likely still rule the world. An equivalent event now would almost certainly wipe out humanity and many other life forms. But the good news is that if it does happen, it will not be for at least another 100 million years according to NASA. Next up is deoxygenation, which is a more likely cause of life extinction. Around 2.5 billion years ago, a period called the Great Oxidization Event provided us with the breathable atmosphere we all now depend on. But when a sweeping climate change left the supercontinent covered with glaciers, it wasn't just the cold that killed off species, it was the plummeting oxygen levels. Researchers believe that the ice was responsible for changing the layers of the oceans and the concentrations of elements like oxygen. According to some estimates, more than 80% of life on Earth died during the late Ordovician mass extinction. In a worrying comparison to today, researchers claim that the change in the climate is already reducing oxygen levels in our oceans, potentially killing off marine species. So is it only a matter of time before the oxygen levels get too low to sustain human life here on Earth? What do you think? Next up is a gamma ray burst. Over the years, researchers have theorized that what sparked the global cooling of the late Ordovician mass extinction could have been a gamma ray burst, or GRB for short. GRBs are unexplained violent energetic explosions in the cosmos that astronomers suspect are linked to extreme supernova. To date, we haven't yet seen a burst close enough to Earth to fully comprehend what's going on, and so far GRBs have only been spotted in other galaxies. However, if one did happen in the Milky Way, it could potentially cause a mass extinction here on Earth. And lastly, we have the aging of the Sun, perhaps the most likely and devastating scenario of how life on Earth will end. In about 1 billion years from now, as the Sun gets older and puts out more energy, eventually Earth will reach a point where atmospheric carbon dioxide breaks down and plants and organisms that need photosynthesis to survive will die. Without the life forms that help to sustain the oxygen-rich atmosphere we require to live, humans and other animals will be unable to survive. Researchers are sure that this will happen eventually, but the good news is, we still have about 1 billion years to prepare for it. So, that's just a handful of the millions of wonders and mysteries of our world and the universe. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like us to talk more about mysteries and wonders of the Earth and beyond, let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and we hope this video gave you a small appreciation of what's around us. We often get so caught up in life's worries and troubles that we forget about the small, wondrous things around us. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.